I should have known she'd try something. Marla never let a stage pass her by. Birthdays, funerals, promotions, she was always hunting for an audience. But the moment she rose at my daughter's wedding, champagne trembling in her manicured hand, I felt the old familiar chill slide down my spine. And then she said it. "Don't end up like your mother," she sneered at my daughter, "living in dirt." The room froze. Forks hovered mid-air. My daughter's smile collapsed. Marla smirked. My pain always tasted sweet to her. That's when Daniel, the Ritz-Carlton regional VP, reached for the mic beside her. He wasn't part of the plan. That made it even better. But before we get to that, you should know how we got here. Back when we still pretended to be family, Marla and I grew up shoulder to shoulder, two sisters sharing a bed, secrets, and stolen cookies. We were close until she discovered people admired cruelty when it dressed itself as confidence. She learned early that belittling others could lift her higher, and she practiced mostly on me. Still, I loved her, enough to invite her to my wedding years ago, the one where I married a farmer, the man she called a walking mud stain. I pretended I didn't hear her, pretended her voice didn't echo in every doubt. Back then, I kept hoping she'd grow up, soften, remember that love didn't need an audience. She never did. The discovery. It started small. Comments to my daughter about how unfortunate our home was. Jokes about farmer hands and barnyard weddings. I ignored them, until the day I found her message. A text she sent to her friends. She chose the dirt life. Let her drown in it. She meant me. People I'd never met laughed at my expense, their replies full of emojis and cruelty. That was the moment my heart snapped, but my face didn't. I learned something important that day. Revenge isn't loud. It's quiet, strategic, patient. When the shift began, I stopped expecting decency from her, stopped hoping for apologies she'd never give. Instead, I watched, listened, let her brag about her contacts, her reputation, her spotless public image. And then I began building my plan. I invited people she desperately wanted to impress to my daughter's wedding. Corporate executives, investors, her own boss. I spent months cultivating the guest list with a precision she'd never suspect from the farm girl she mocked. Every RSVP was a thread in the web I was weaving. The execution, I didn't tell my daughter. I didn't need to. I just told her she'd thank me later. I knew Marla wouldn't be able to resist making a scene. I knew she'd try to elevate herself by cutting me down. And so I prepared. Daniel, the Ritz-Carlton exec, was seated beside her by design. He despised workplace bullies. He'd once said to me, "Character shows when people think no one important is watching." I made sure someone important was. The climax. So when Marla spat her insult across the room, Daniel's hand moved before mine. He politely asked for the mic. People parted around him like the Red Sea. Marla handed it over, confused but preening. Attention was her oxygen. She expected praise. Instead, his voice cut the silence in one clean slice. "Marla," he said, "I've heard you speak in meetings, but never with such cruelty. Not toward your own family." Her smile faltered. He continued, slowly, deliberately, letting every word hang like a verdict. "It's disturbing, and it reflects the opposite of the leadership qualities your company expects. I'll be reporting this behavior to HR immediately." Her face drained. The room buzzed with shock. I didn't move. I didn't need to. He turned to my daughter. "And for the record, young lady," he added warmly, "your mother built a life rooted in honesty and hard work. That's something to aspire to, not mock." Applause broke. Real thunderous applause. Marla stood frozen, humiliated in front of the very people she'd tried to impress. My plan had landed exactly where it needed to. The resolution. She slipped out before dessert. didn't say goodbye, didn't dare look at me. As for me, I just watched her go, feeling something I hadn't felt in years. Not anger, not triumph, relief. Because the truth is simple, she buried herself long before she tried to bury me. All I did was hand her the shovel. And God, did she dig deep.